In previous lesson, I have shared with you how to use a request body annotation to make a method read JSON payload from HTTP request body. In this lesson, you will learn how to use response body annotation to make your controller method return JSON object in HTTP response body. So here I have a very simple method that uses response entity to return HTTP status code 200 and OK in HTTP response body. I will update this method to make it return JSON string instead. And to do that, I will annotate this method with response body annotation, like this. This annotation will tell Spring Framework that the object returned from this method should be serialized into JSON and returned in HTTP response body. Let's make it return a user object. If I open my current user class, it contains passwords fields, so returning an object of this class is not very secure unless I ignore password fields. But it also doesn't have user ID field. So to make sure that I return only those fields that I want to return, I'll better create a new user class that is safe to return in HTTP response. So I will go to my model package and I will create a new Java class that I will call user REST, for example. I will add user ID property and I will add first name, last name and email. Now I will generate constructor for this class. Constructor will handle fields initialization, and now I only need getter methods. So I will again do right mouse click and then choose generate and then select getters, and will select all properties to generate a getter method for every single one of them. I'll click on OK and I have getter methods generated. Alright, so my new user REST class is ready. Let's return an object of this class in HTTP response body. I'll go back to my user controller. I will delete response entity that returns OK and HTTP status code 200, and I will create a new response entity object that accepts user REST as response body and HTTP status code OK. Now I will create a new instance of user REST. Let's import it and provide parameters. User ID I will generate, and to do that I will use UUID. The first name I will take from my existing user object that this method receives as method argument. Same for the last name. I will get it from the existing user object that we received as method argument, and finally email. Alright, so now I will save changes to my user controller class and I should be able to run my application and see how it works. I will set a debugger breakpoint on the very first line here, and I will select my main application file, do right mouse click and choose debug. Now that my application started, I will bring in Postman, and here I have HTTP post request that is to be sent to /users API endpoint running on localhost port number 8080, and I will add the missing fields. I have first name, last name, I will add email, and I will add password, and I will add repeat password, like this. Now I will send it, and here's my debugger breakpoint triggered. If I move mouse over the user object and inspect it, it should have first name, last name, email, password, and repeat password. All fields have proper values, so that worked. Now, if I resume this application and click on this button here to resume program and go back to my Postman, I will see JSON response containing the generated user ID, first name, last name, and email. Alright, so it all worked for us very well, and you now know how to use the response body annotation to make method in your controller class return JSON in HTTP response body. So we are good to continue.